Hi, I'm Mike. Welcome back to the Building Guide. Today I want to cover, there's 4 separate components that we've got going on in here that work together in terms of heating, energy efficiency, and comfort. That is our air source heat pump, our heat pump hot water heater, our air exchange system, and ceiling fans. Those 4 things together give us a super efficient house, and the ceiling fan is kind of what holds it all together by keeping the air circulating, and the house can operate the way that we had planned. So first of all, the house is extremely well insulated and airtight on a level that very few houses across the country achieve. So by doing that, that opens up a whole world of opportunities for us because with such a low energy demand, we can get away with sort of smaller systems as well. Now, if you haven't seen already our videos on our air source heat pump or our hot water heat pump, if you don't have a super good understanding of how heat pumps work, maybe go watch those, because to really get what we're talking about here, you kind of got to realize how heat pumps work and how efficient they are. So a mini recap of those videos. First of all, our house is mostly passively heated. By say mostly, more than 50% of the heat required to keep this place warm comes in through the windows. Second of all, we have a radiant floor, a hydronic radiant floor system going on here. Keep our feet warm. We do not actually use that to heat the house, though we could. It's electric resistance heat, so it's a little bit more expensive than our heat pump. What we don't want our feet to be so cold that you kind of got to jack up the temperature of the heat pump to compensate for it. So it's really, they're operating independently, keep the floor at a base comfort level, and then we rely on the heat pump to supply actually the warm air to the house rather than the floor, because it is 3 times more, we'll get 3 times more heat for our money and energy with the heat pump than counting on the floor to heat the air. So here's what I mean about our building envelope offering us different possibilities and opportunities by being as efficient as we are. A code-built house, you've got at least 1 heat source in every room, generally as close as you can to a window, because they're probably double pane and feels kind of cold being next to them. We don't have that need as much here to firing heat into every single corner of the house. The place operates a bit more as a single system. And with triple pane windows, for example, that we have here, you don't have that same sensation. So you can actually sit a little bit closer to these windows without and be comfortable. Now, if you resign yourself to heat loss and commit to it by building your house only to code, you're going to spend a lot of money trying to keep that house warm over its lifespan. So it isn't actually the cheapest way to build. It might seem like it, a little less money out of pocket right away, but you will pay more in the long term. And what I mean, like for here, by spending thousands more on a better building envelope, windows, on our air tightness, we don't have the same heat demand, so we can get away with a much smaller system. Less heat loss, less heat needs to be added, smaller heating infrastructure. And because of that, like that single source air source heat pump, about $3,000 installed compared to a full house heat pump system, which would probably run you a little closer to $15,000. So it's big savings on that more than compensates for the added cost of the radiant floor to keep our feet warm, which also offers us an excellent backup heating system in case there is a failure. So then there's our air exchange system, which is about 90% efficient, which is extremely high. Most models don't really achieve that. And what that means, 90% efficient, as we exchange the air in the house, we're only losing 10% of our heat in the process. We also have our hot water heat pump as well, that's taking that efficient air from the house, it's using that to generate hot water. So meaning, like we don't count on a heating coil in it. When it's operating in its heat pump mode, it's sucking in the hot air, generating hot water. So if we throw air that's 3 times more efficient at it, we're transferring that efficiency to the hot water, which again is like it wouldn't be doing the same if we're just heating the house with a radiant floor. That hot water heat pump not really doing as much. So those are sort of the 3 main mechanical components to the house that in order to make those work, we need the air to be moving around here. And that's where the ceiling fans come in. So in order to get that air from the air source heat pump to the water heater to keep all the different rooms comfortable balancing the temperature, we've got to move the air around. There you go, and that's what the ceiling fans help do. The fans that we got are from Aerotron. These are super quiet. They're about the most efficient operating ones we found. They use about 3 watts of power, and they have an optional 6-watt LED bulb that comes with it. Not to get too mired down in aesthetics, but you have to like the decor of your house. So if anybody's been ceiling fan shopping recently, you may notice that there's no shortage of ugly ones. It's not as easy to find good looking ones. I don't know why that is. We really like these. And if they look a little bit like an airplane wing, that's probably because they were designed by aerospace engineers. Installation is no different than any other ceiling fan. We have sloped ceilings here, so you want to get, there's an extension kit for that. They're not super cheap. They run about 500 Canadian each. But again, no one wants ugly ceiling fans, so we're quite happy with these. Building a really efficient house does not always have to be a more expensive undertaking. Yeah, you're going to spend a little bit more on the build, and some of the sticker prices might at first shock you, but try not to think about that. Keep in mind the long-term picture of what you're going to be spending to operate a house. Don't look at a sticker price and go find something cheaper because you want to keep a few bucks in your pocket, because they're going to come out just in a different way. And honestly, building the better house can actually, not only is it more comfortable and durable, a better investment, you put some thought into the design phase, it can actually be cheaper to build it from the beginning. Factor in the money you're going to save, it's probably one of the cheapest ways to build a house is to build it better. So anyway, thanks for watching.